Hello Rebel and welcome back to my life. So one thing about doing VEDA is it can be hard to come up with a new topic every day, so I've decided to borrow some video ideas from friends of mine who are also doing this on their own YouTube channel. In today's video I wanted to talk about what format of books I prefer to read, and that idea came from Amanda over on the channel Fandom Matters. It's a really cool channel where she talks not just about the fandoms she's in, but about kind of fandom in general. There's a link to her video on this topic down below. You should go and check her out. So growing up, ebooks didn't exist, right? So obviously I preferred to read physical books at that time. The exception was when I was on road trips with my parents, we would often buy and listen to audiobooks, but that was sort of like a family activity, right? It wasn't really the way that I consumed books. And nowadays I just can't do audiobooks at all. I read so much faster than any narrator that it's kind of infuriating actually to listen to them narrate a book. That's just me, it's a personal preference. I know lots of people love audiobooks. I have one out, by the way, which you can go and buy on Amazon. 2010 was where I started reading a lot of ebooks. I got into the indie publishing space. I learned that there were all these authors out there I'd never heard of with all these books that were all in ebook format, and I started buying and reading a lot of them. And I found a lot of great books that way. Ebook was how I first discovered the Sterling and Stone books and Joanna Penn and Hugh Howey. So I had a furious ebook reading period for a couple of years there. I liked having so many books readily available. I liked the convenience of having them all on my phone so I could just sort of flip them out whenever I wanted to. And let's face it, ebooks are usually cheaper than print books. The only people who still charge more for ebooks than for print books are traditional publishers, and they do lots of other things wrong as well. But in 2013, I started buying and reading print books again, and I kind of fell back in love with them. I had always produced my own books in print just to have them, but of course I didn't sit there reading my own books. Honestly, I think I got a little bit burned out on ebooks. There's just not that many ways that ebooks can differentiate and distinguish themselves from each other. Trust me, I know. I've been formatting ebooks for a very long time. I'm kind of known as somebody who's pretty good at it, and there's really only so much you can do. I love the feel and the presentation of a good print book. With the very best ones, the design itself lends itself to the art and the story. It really is an art form. People get paid lots of money to do professional book print layout. And also, obviously ebooks are easier to carry around, especially lots of them, but print books are actually easier to use. Like, it's just easier to flip back a few pages or flip forward a few pages or to the front or back of a physical book than it is to like do that page scrolling thing in an ebook. Another thing is that when it comes to indie books, which I tried to read a lot of, this is a little bit of like self-gatekeeping for my own sake, because I know that if an indie author doesn't have a book available in print and it's only available an ebook, in my experience, that means that their book in general is not necessarily going to be professional. I know there are exceptions to that rule, trust me. I'm very well aware of it, but it just is more often than not, if they don't have a print book, their book probably isn't that great. So nowadays, what I usually do when somebody says that a book is really awesome and I have to read it is I will go to Amazon and I will download the free Kindle sample that you can get for literally any Kindle book. I'll read it, or maybe not the whole thing, but a few pages or the first chapter or whatever, and if it's good, if like the writing is up to snuff and if I'm interested right off the bat, then I will order the physical book and I will finish reading it that way. Which is how my library continues to grow, and on other bookshelves as well that are starting to accumulate around the house. Oh god, pretty soon I'm gonna live in a library. You know, I said that like it's a bad thing. I actually think it's a little bit more of a dream come true. That's all I've got for you today, Rebel. You can click right up there to see yesterday's VEDA video, or right down there to see my Patreon where I release my secret weekend videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!